Hey there everyone, Meteorologist Adam Claibon here with you. The day today, some rain, also some sun, but generally we kept things drier than not. And tomorrow I think a similar pattern, although maybe a little more rain as we get ready to end off the work week. And it will be around too, maybe by the start of that big matchup, Tigers and Mariners, Game 5, win or go home. We're going to get into the forecast and the details of that and what's ahead for the weekend, because we're still talking about rain, we're still talking about mountain snow, but how much? Again, more of that coming up here in a second. First, let's take a look at T-Mobile Park, which is showing just a little sunshine bleeding between those clouds here as we get ready to end off Thursday. Forecast here as we head into the day tomorrow, calling for some of those showers to be around closer to first pitch. Again, we have the roof over T-Mobile Park, so no worries about that impacting the game. But if you're heading out, prepare for that, especially during your drive there, and also prepare for a bit of a cool evening as temperatures will still hold on to more the mid to upper 50s. Now, the cooler air, that's arriving. We'll head into the weekend and see those snow levels drop down to 4,000 feet, and that means areas such as Stevens Pass, White Pass, Crystal Mountain, maybe getting some light accumulating snowfall with that. I think it's going to be hard to do that there at Snoqualmie Pass as we're lower, closer to 3,000 feet, but we'll see how things shape up with that. Here's your 7-day forecast. Tomorrow up to 60 degrees, rain at times and more showers as we head into the weekend, and some sun breaks too to go along with that as this area of low pressure continues to spin just off of the coast, and it will eventually start to bring in some of those higher chances of rain. And yes, some of the mountain snow too, which we'll see more of that up this way around Hurricane Ridge and even a little bit here at Stevens Pass by the end of the weekend. Tacoma, not down this way around the lowland area, but you see Mount Rainier off into the distance. Could see some additional snow. Actually, will be a lot of additional snow showing up on the mountain there. And then looking here at Climate Pledge Arena, we actually got a home opener tonight, season opener there for the Kraken. Temperatures in the low 60s with winds coming in from the north at 6 miles per hour. Right now, we're noticing temperatures in the lower 60s, but we're going to drop down into the 50s tonight and maybe just barely get into the upper 40s before the night is said and done. Radar, quiet. We had that band dissipate here throughout the night, but there is another one that's going to be getting going here as we head on into the evening, and that's generally farther to the south, and some lightning strikes popping up with that too, which we'll keep an eye out as we head into the day tomorrow for maybe a slight opportunity of seeing a thunderstorm across the southern part of the state. I think up this way, though, most of us will be pretty good and fine to go. So looking at Futurecast, there's that weak band that starts to develop as we head into the night. Most of that staying over the Olympic Peninsula, and some heavier pockets too. We head into late tomorrow morning and early into Friday afternoon. You can see there is going to be some rain that comes through at that point. Some heavier pockets, and maybe it looks like a quick shot of some steady rain, but should it be lasting for the entire day, and most of it's getting out of here before the start of that big game tomorrow evening. We'll continue on into the night, though, and see that area of low pressure spin on through, and that's going to bring in another round of rain on into Saturday, and then Saturday into Sunday, all of that pushes off to the east. Colder air comes in blasting behind at that, and this is going to be the time where we are going to keep an eye out for maybe seeing some additional showers up this way around more of Snohomish County. That's that convergence zone activity, and now that we're getting into this time of the year, that becomes a bit more strong than what we've been dealing with for the past couple of months. Also, you can see some of the blue and white popping up across the Cascades. Expect to see some of that mountain snow, and we'll continue to keep an eye on for that as we head on into maybe into the middle to the latter part of the day on Monday. Now, as far as the amounts of rain that we're expecting here over the next 2 to 3 days, limited amounts, 1/10 to 2/10, maybe getting up closer to 4/10 of an inch around the north coast, but we're generally talking about maybe 1 or 2/10 of an inch. While the snow totals, models at least, suggesting 1 to 2 inches around Stevens Pass, White Pass up to 5. I think these are a bit exaggerated, a bit overdone. What you can probably come to expect, maybe 1 inch, possibly 2, up that way around Stevens Pass for Snoqualmie Pass. Going to be really tough to get any of that to stick. Again, going to be just too warm, snow level staying up around 4,000 feet. A lot of that melting, mixing in with some rain, and the ground temperatures, the road temperatures, still going to be warm enough that most of that will melt as it hits the surface. So thankfully, not expecting any sort of major impacts there at Snoqualmie or even wider Stevens Pass for that matter as we head on into your Saturday night into Sunday as this moisture starts to push on through. And then we'll see this system continue to dive, and that's going to help to produce a bit more of that precipitation, especially down into California, as it looks like the mass of it is going to be heading down that way. Now for us up here, things are going to stay relatively quiet for the night. We'll see temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s, and then highs tomorrow getting up to around 57 in Bellingham, 56 in Orcas Island, mid-50s around Camano Island, 57 in Clinton, low 60s for us in Kingston and in Shoreline, while seeing upper 50s in Redmond and in Issaquah, 62 in Puyallup, and 61 in Olympia. Here's your 7-day forecast. wetter, but still not all that wet over the next few days. Really, the main thing will be the cooler air that's coming on in. And for those of you who might be heading up to the high country, possibly doing some backcountry hiking or something like that, you just want to be careful. It's going to get chilly here as we head on into the weekend. At that higher terrain, especially above 5,000 feet, we'll definitely be seeing some accumulating snowfall. Okay, everyone, one more day. Just got to get through Friday, and then it's the weekend. Hopefully you guys have a tremendous Thursday night, and yeah, right, go Kraken. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.